Today we are going to look at a very important topic that is on the top of the minds of BI leaders such as yourself who have been using OBIE as the BI platform and who are seeing an adoption of Tableau in your environments. So the key questions that you're looking at are, does Tableau provide the capabilities that OBIE has failed to deliver? Should you replace OBIE with Tableau, or should you augment OBIE with Tableau? If so, what is the best way to go about doing that? So let's first begin by looking at the state of OBIE customers. Many of the customers that we have spoken to are frustrated with OBIE. They're frustrated because of its weakness in the areas of visualization, ease of use, ability to bring in new data and blend it with existing data, and also the speed of change in terms of ability to make changes to your BI applications quickly. The business users find OBIE very difficult to use, and so they have taken up to the new generation of visualization tools like Tableau, and they brought in Tableau Desktop, which they find it very easy and it's well designed for a non-technical user, so they can quickly discover data, they can visualize it, create reports, and in a very attractive visualizations. Some of them have gone further and are evaluating or brought in Tableau servers where they bring in export data out of the databases under the OBIE and then upload them into Tableau servers and then visualize them. Now the frustration with OBIE has gone to such an extent that many organizations are looking for an alternative to OBIE. What they are looking for is an ideal solution that provides a like-for-like replacement, providing all the capabilities that OBIE provides, and also the features that are missing in OBIE, such as the modern visualization, ability to bring in data and blend it, and then bring it in a form that is useful in terms of data wrangling, and also quickly make changes to the applications to adapt to the modern environment. So as the Tableau adoption has grown in the organization, many of them are looking at Tableau to see if this is this alternative, this ideal alternative that they're looking for. So does Tableau meet this lofty objectives for the alternative solution? Is this realistic? So let's dig in a little bit deeper into this topic. So by looking at first at the OBIE strengths, you're frustrated with OBIE, but it's often easy to just look past the strengths that OBIE brings to your organization. The power of OBIE lies in its metadata repository, also called as the RPD. It's also its Achilles heel. But the RPD provides a common enterprise model consisting of well-defined physical layer, a logical layer, and a presentation layer. Before you build a single report, it has to be well thought out and designed across these three layers. And so, as a result, by a technically competent person. So the models are well thought out and built. The RPD approach is well suited for IT-led projects, where the application is supported and enhanced by the IT. So the models that have been built or could be coming from well-defined, established, stable data sources. And in those situations, the IT is responsible for bringing in getting the requirements from the business users, and it's well suited in the traditional waterfall model where they get the requirements from the business users, design and develop the RPDs, test it, and then deploy it in a production environment. So the models that have been developed using this approach can be reused over several years. Another advantage of OBIE is its well-defined security model. The security model in OBIE provides object-level security, data-level security, and also presentation catalog security, so that you can clearly define which user, which role, and which group has access to what objects, which sets of data, and then which reports and dashboards. So the security model is well suited to meet the security requirements of a large organization. So when the OBIE is implemented correctly, the data and the information that is coming out of OBIE is tested, accurate, and becomes a trusted source of information for your organization. There are also other advantages for the OBIE, which is it's actually good for enterprise dashboards. The reason, in spite of its limitations with the visualization, the enterprise dashboards are well-defined with well-defined data sources coming in with defined models. The models are not going to change often, and you have a standardized set of dimensions, filters, and metrics. And so you can define them, IT can define them, and then make it available for a large number of users who can quickly go change the filters and consume the data. A significant amount of your corporate or enterprise data falls into this bucket. Of course, the limitation with the visualization applies, and we will see a little later as to how you can overcome the visualization limitation. But the strengths of OBIE have been well-defined for those environments where it's well-defined requirements, well-defined models, and so on. But in today's world, the business requirements are evolving rapidly. The new data sources are coming online quickly, and the business users are savvy, data savvy, and require self-service capabilities. And therein lies the OBIE's weakness. One of the most important feedback that we get about OBIE's weakness is the speed of change, or the lack of speed of change. How it takes, since the OBIE is a more IT-driven approach, where the IT has to make the changes to the RPD model and then make it available, adding a new table or a data source to the RPD takes a lot of time because the IT is often doing a lot of things, and it has to fall into the pipeline of things that they have to achieve. So the business users are not willing to wait for this delay, and they often go about building their own offline data marts and bring in data by exporting out of OBIE and then consume them with tools like Tableau. Another weakness of OBIE is its lack of mashup or blending capability. With so many new data sources available, and either in the form of, like the traditional sources like Excel or SQL databases such as SQL Server or Oracle, or the new sources like big data sources like Hadoop or cloud databases, it's not possible to mash up this data with OBIE in OBIE 11G. OBIE 12C provides a limited capability, but you can only mash up with Excel. And what we've heard is that it also requires additional license, so it's going to cost more. The most important feedback that we get from the business users is about OBIE is that it's very difficult to use, requires a steep learning curve, too many clicks, and it handles only the OBIE subject areas. The visual analyzer in OBIE 12C addresses this shortcoming a little bit, but it's too little, too late. It's only goes along with the subject areas, and again, we've heard that it requires an additional license and it's going to cost more. So having seen the strengths and weakness of OBIE, can you overcome these challenges by replacing OBIE with Tableau in your environment? So let's look at the strengths that Tableau brings to your organization. Tableau succeeds where OBIE fails. It's a great tool for data discovery, bringing in new data sources, visualizing them quickly without too much learning curve. You can mash up data from multiple data sources, and it accelerates the pace at which you can bring in new changes to your business intelligence application and then make it available to a wide set of users. But given all these strengths of Tableau, is it a like-for-like replacement for OBIE? It is important to understand that OBIE and Tableau are fundamentally different tools. They are designed for different use cases, and when you try to replace OBIE like-for-like with Tableau, it's going to be a lengthy, difficult, and expensive process. So let's look at the factors which makes this so complex to replace it like-for-like. Many organizations have built RPDs with complex data models. These models, you often have joins consisting of hundreds of tables, and some of these subject areas have hundreds of columns, and complex business logic and security model has been built over years into these RPDs. There is no equivalent way to build this in Tableau. You have to build it in the database layer, and also use it, the security model in Tableau. It's going to be a complex approach. We've also seen that in some cases Tableau has performance issues if we go beyond joining 25+ tables and also the 16+ text columns. Another factor to consider are the reports. You probably built hundreds and thousands of reports in OBIE over the past several years. Imagine redeveloping all these reports with all its complex business logic in Tableau, which is going to be time-consuming. It's going to be an expensive process. You also have to consider several other factors. The first one, even if you get past the technical difficulties in replacing OBIE with Tableau, what about the opportunity cost of not doing something else that is important for your business requirement? Like replacement of BI platforms is a lift and shift projects. It often results in a fluid BI environments. Basically, what I mean is the requirements are going to constantly keep changing. So it's not going to be possible for you to tell the business users, hey, hold off on your requirements while I make these changes and then come and take your new requirements. So how do you handle the new requirements that are coming in? Also, you also have to consider the new versions of Tableau and OBIE as you go through this process, which is the lengthy process. And finally, you have to consider the organizational aspects of who's going to develop this, test it, and then verify that the results that you get in Tableau are the same as what you get in OBIE. So the process of replacing it like for any BI platform is so complex that many of the BI replacement projects where an organization tries to replace one BI platform entirely with another one are never ever 100% complete. They often end up with the intention of replacing one with another and then end up with two different BI platforms running parallelly in their organization. So given the challenges and the difficulty in replacing like for like of OBIE with Tableau, let's look at the current state. The IT has invested years and millions into building out the OBIE RPDs, reports, and dashboards. The business users who are not happy with the user experience of the OBIE love Tableau's user experience. They have purchased Tableau Desktop. Some of them have purchased Tableau Server licenses, also are actively evaluating Tableau Server for department use. And since there was no easy way to connect from Tableau to OBIE, they started downloading OBIE data out of using Excel or asking IT to write ETL scripts and then uploading them into Tableau. And this presents its own challenges in terms of data duplication across Tableau and OBIE. You're also getting past the security model built into OBIE and exposing the data in Tableau. And there's also the system of record issues. Okay, so if you bring in the data into Tableau and redo all the calculations, is the result that you're getting in Tableau consistent with what you're getting in OBIE? What happens if they're different? So there are so many issues with that approach. So in such a scenario, what should you do next? So it is important to understand that there's a need for, in today's environment, which has rapidly evolving requirements, new data sources coming in quickly, and business users who are data savvy and require self-service capability. There is a need for two different types of tools. You have OBIE, which can handle slow changing requirements, stable requirements, with complex data models, and provide the enterprise security capability that is required for the organization, and also allows you to build enterprise data dashboard data sources that can be consumed by a trusted data source that can be consumed by a large number of users in the organization. And on the other side, is Tableau, which provides the self-service capability, makes it easy to discover new data sources. Very quickly you can visualize it, mash up the multiple data sources, and it's ideal for transient data. What I mean by transient data is the data sources which are new data sources which are still not well defined, so you want to model it and see whether it's build it into the correct models and then make it available as a stable data source. So given that it's not, replacement is not an option, you have to coexist these two environments. What's the best approach? Is downloading data from OBIE and uploading it into Tableau the best long-term solution? Is it viable over long-term? What you're looking for is an ideal solution where you can bring in the best of OBIE and Tableau into a single user experience. In an ideal solution, you should be able to connect from Tableau to OBIE, reuse the OBIE model that has been developed over several years, connect live to it, leave the data, and then build Tableau visualizations on top of it. You should be able to blend the OBIE data with various other data sources just like you would like with Excel and so on. Follow the enterprise security models that has already been well deployed in OBIE. Thereby, you are able to repurpose the huge investments that you have made in OBIE and also take advantage of the benefits of the cutting-edge tools like Tableau. And so we built the BI connector to exactly provide this capability. So the BI connector provides a seamless user experience where you can connect from Tableau into OBIE in just a few minutes. The data is secured by OBIE security model. You would log in with your OBIE username and password and have access only to the data that you're authorized to see. From an IT perspective, the IT doesn't have to make any changes to the OBIE. You can reuse the OBIE business logic that has been built over years and process, which results in cost and time savings. BI connector is very simple to install. You can install it on your desktop or with the Tableau server in just a couple of minutes. And the information is consistent. What you see, the results that you see in Tableau by connecting through BI connector into OBIE would be consistent with the results that you would see in the OBIE environment. So the BI connector brings together the best of Tableau and OBIE into a single integrated solution. So with that, let me quickly go through a quick demo of BI connector to show you how you can bring together OBIE and Tableau in a single user experience. So this is the Tableau desktop interface, and BI connector has been installed on my desktop. It takes just a couple of minutes. It's like installing another driver on the desktop. So you go to the other databases, and in the DSN, you would actually pick up the DSN corresponding to the OBIE, your OBIE install. So when you install the BI connector in your desktop, you can configure a DSN data source which will point your OBIE system. So you connect. And you would enter with your username and password for the OBIE. So you're now connected to the OBIE subject area. So this is the user URL that you would use to connect to the OBIE, and so the subject area, this is a sample data model that comes out of the box with OBIE. So let's pick this sample sales slide. You can see the facts, various facts, and the dimension tables that are available. So you can drag and drop, let's say the base facts. Let's bring in the offices folder. products folder and time folder. So now we are ready to go and start creating subject areas. So let's begin by looking at bring in the time dimension, the quarters, let's go to offices and bring in the offices here, and also the product. So from here on, BI connector has connected Tableau to the OBIE and seamlessly translates the messages across the two different BI systems and allows you to take advantage of all the capabilities that Tableau provides. So you can bring in revenue, and the target revenue. So you get the power of all the Tableau features with the data coming in from OBIE. BI connector allows you to take advantage of all the joins that have been set up in OBIE and allows you to use Tableau as the visualization layer for the OBIE data. So once you have done this, now the next step is, let's see if we can quickly do a mashup of this OBIE data with a SQL database. So in order to do that, it's just like mashing up any other data source in Tableau. Go in, create a new data source. So let's say in this case, I want to have a database which is in Microsoft SQL Server. So there's a few databases. Let's select the sales DB. So in this particular scenario, the power user has received and revised a target revenue for a specific office. So the Bluebell office has received a new set of target revenue, which is out of the world. So now how do you mash up and bring this data into your existing worksheet? So once you go in, you see the revised target revenue, and you see the magic of Tableau in terms of blending this data or mapping this office and product from the new data source with the base facts from OBIE. So now let's go to OBIE base facts, OBIE data source, and create a new calculated field. Let's call it revised target revenue. And let's put a calculation that says if, okay, so I need to, before I do that, I need to, let's cancel this at one step. So if we go here, this is still in the string format, so let's convert it into a number format, make it available as a measure. Let's go here now. Let's create a new calculated field called revised target revenue. So what we have done is, if only for that particular office, Bluebell office, we are going to mash up the revised target revenue from the new data source, the SQL Server, and leave for the other offices, we are going to leave the original target revenue. So now we have done this. So let's go back. Let's recreate this worksheet. Let's remove the original target revenue and bring in the new revised target revenue. So from here on, so you got the new revenue now. So you can see that the data for some of this Bluebell Office is out of this world, whereas for the other offices, it's still in the same college office and Copper and all that, so it's still the same. So we are able to mash up the OBIE data coming from subject area with the SQL Server database, data coming from SQL Server database in this use case. So BI Connector makes it so easy to blend these two data sources, of course, and combined with the power of Tableau, it's able to bring in the data from OBIE in a format that Tableau can understand and makes it available for mashup and allows you to take advantage of the Tableau's capability. So now let's go back to the presentation. So as you saw, so BI Connector allows you to give the business users the capability to use Tableau as a visualization for OBIE, allows them to mash up OBIE data with other data sources, and allows them to bring in new data sources, model them quickly, see the value of the data, and when it's stable, they can transition it off to the IT so that they can be brought into as a part of the fixed data sources that are available in the OBIE's RPD. From an IT perspective, the IT doesn't have to make any changes to OBIE. There's no data migration, and it's easy to deploy. So it results in significant cost savings, and it works with 10G, OBIE 10G, 11G, and also 12C, and also with the various versions of Tableau. You're able to take advantage of the OBIE's data security. You're eliminating Excel exports from OBIE into Tableau. You're providing them live connection, and you're following the data model, the security model that is set up in OBIE. Finally, you're reusing the OBIE investment that has been made over years while providing the business users with the capability of modern visualization through Tableau. So it becomes a win-win for both your IT and business organization. So what is the takeaway from this presentation? Basically, it's important to recognize that there's a need for two types of BI tools in today's environment. OBIE, which handles the requirements, table requirements with complex data models, and security, and this security needs of a large organization, and this can be driven by the IT, where they set up the RPDs and so on. The Tableau, on the other side, provides the business user-friendly capability for data discovery, visualization, mashups, and also helps handle the transient data until it becomes stable. So it's important to combine these two platforms and not replace one with other so that you can get the best of both worlds and make it a win-win for both the business and the IT organization. And BI Connector can help you achieve this goal very quickly and in a very effective manner. So with that, we will we'll open up to questions. If you have any questions, please type them through the Q&A box in the WebEx. You can also send us questions. We will share our contact information through via email, and it's also available in this presentation. So you can send me your questions, and we would be happy to answer your questions. You can also invite you to try out Test Drive BI Connector in your environment. It's available for free trial at biconnector.com. And within a few minutes, you will be able to connect from Tableau into your OBIE environment.